But we enjoyed our time with the van. Although what I did learn being in an electric van is that every electric vehicle is actually the same. There is really, they're quite good fun, and there's lots of talk and whoosh and stuff. But really, they are exactly the same, aren't they? Really, I mean that felt exactly the same to me as the other Geely product, which is
Yeah,
the
but you know what? It makes to me
Hmm.
electric cars make sense electric vehicles make sense when they're small and nippy and easy to park, like a Honda E.
Hmm.
Like I lived in London for 10 years. If electric cars had been around then, I would 100% have bought one, especially a Honda E. I mean, I had a look at their prices the other day. They've completely stagnated. You're looking at the cheapest ones you can buy are 13 or 14 grand, and
Hmm.
they've been at the price for about a year now. I
Well,
think the trade never gets it wrong. You know, if you see a car that's plummeting in value, stay away from it. If you keep looking at cars on Auto Trader and you see that their price stays fairly level, then you know that it's going to be a good vehicle and you're probably not going to lose much money on it. As I said, the trade don't get it wrong. But yeah, small the electric vehicles that make sense for me are small little city runarounds like a Honda E, or something like that electric van we drove on Monday. It was
hmm.
fantastic. I thought it was a great bit of kit
Yeah.
and to do the job. And yeah, I mean, it's faster than any van needs to be. And they never told us what the horsepower figures or the performance figures were. But I mean, did you get out of that and think, well, that wasn't quick enough? I bloody didn't.
No, but vans are actually the fastest things on the road, as we know. You'll always be overtaken by a van, won't you? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever
You
Aston
know,
Martin
what,
Vantage you're in, you'll be overtaken. And I think we should, if we're going to quickly talk about electrics, I understand Aston Martin aren't going to make an electric car anymore. Woohoo.
good.
That's good, isn't it?
Good.
Also that
Makes sense for but they just don't make sense. Why
no,
would Aston Martin make an electric car for
yeah,
300, 400 grand? There's
yeah.
no soul in it. There's no emotion in it.
Mm.
Nobody's going to want it. It's a
Yeah.
waste of time.
Car magazines told me these were coming and they were going to be great. So
Well,
what's
car
going on
magazines got it. Well, car magazines had their head up their ass,
there?
like you said, and you did the right thing leaving.
Mm. Okay, that's great. And yeah, and also minis. Electric minis aren't going to be made in Oxford anymore. There was a 600 million investment, and people got all very excited last year, September last year, because they were going to spend all this money, and these green jobs were coming, and now they're not because there isn't the demand.
It would appear that BMW have been the cleverest with their vehicle architecture and
Mm.
platforms. They've really hedged it, apparently, not as much as Toyota did. But people like Porsche have had standalone platforms, and I mean VW, Porsche, and Audi. They're in a bit of a fight for survival now, so I understand,
Mm.
which is not good because we quite like VW, Porsche, and Audi
Yeah,
products that you can future-proof.
that's right. You very much can. So yeah, we should leave all the electric stuff to the Chinese, shouldn't we? Really, they can go and
Oh
make
yeah,
stuff because they've got all
why
the
not?
resources to do it, and yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's what should be happening.
Well, they
Uh,
make it cheaper than everybody else, and from what we witnessed firsthand on Monday, they do a bloody good job.
mm,
So you know, if you need a van for doing deliveries locally, I mean that van that we drove around in on Monday. I mean the biggest one had a city range of 350 miles.
mm,
Okay, 56,000 quid plus VAT is probably quite a lot of money
yeah,
uh, for an Amazon delivery van,
mm,
but we probably have to whisper this.
mm,
Values plummet quite quickly on electric vehicles.
yeah,
So wait for all the companies.
Mm.
James is convinced that the only people that are going to buy these electric vans are local authorities and government people.
Yep.
But once they bought them and run them for 3 years and then got rid of them, you can buy an electric van with a 5-year battery warranty on it for probably a lot less money than you think.
Mm.
So then it starts to make sense. So let somebody else take the cost of it to start with. Again, this is what we do with future proof. Don't
Yep.
buy new, buy second hand. And really, the only issues you get with electric vehicles are battery replacement costs. So if you say buy a 56,000 quid van, well, 56 grand plus VAT, if you then get it 3 years old, for what, James? 15, 20 grand at
Yeah.
3 years old, something around there.
Yeah.
And then you've got 5 years on the battery warranty. So if it dies after 5 years and 2 months, you've got to scrap the van, but you've had 5 years use out of it,
Yeah.
depending on the mileage. So there's ways of looking at things, ways of buying and running vehicles that make sense. You don't have to pay full whack for them. But yeah, Chinese do the electric thing very well. And let's face it, you're not buying electric cars for driving pleasure. Nobody does. The side effect of it, well, a pleasant side effect of electric cars is they're very fast, very accelerative. But I mean, the last time I've seen an electric car going fast on the motorway, I think I've seen one once going fast on the motorway. The rest of them are Teslas doing 70 miles an hour on cruise control, blocking the outside lane because they're all worried about their range and they can't actually use the performance they've got. Otherwise, they won't be able to go anywhere.
Yeah, but
It's
the really well, that's right. But the really funny ones, which you don't see as much as you used to, but are the ones on the inside lane with all the windows open, eking out that 30-mile range to get to a charge or to get home,
yeah,
which is quite desperate and hoping there's no tailback, there's no nothing, because yeah, they have their ranging anxiety well to the fore. But yeah, that used to be a thing on the M4 a few years ago. A friend of mine said, yeah, there's just Teslas on the inside lane running out of juice. But there you go.
yeah.
That's
I followed a Porsche Taycan home the other day, and he actually pulled over on a really steep hill with his hazard lights on. He was struggling to get up the hill.
hmm,
I mean, it does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, but he couldn't get up the hill because he didn't have enough battery left. He literally crawled up to the hill, and then he must have put it in neutral or coasted. Because then I followed him down the hill, and he just about pulled into his house in time.
yeah,
So, yeah, um, I mean, I'd just be pissed off if I paid 120,000 quid for a car and was doing that sort of stuff. I'd just be pissed off.
yeah.
And obviously, other people are pissed off with it because nobody's buying them again, are they?
No, that's right.
So Porsche have binned it off now. BMW have binned the electric Mini off.
Hmm. It doesn't make any sense anymore. And apparently it's okay to say that. So we're not going to get told off for saying that because we've been saying it for several years. So that's okay. But yeah,
Imagine the billions that's been wasted
hmm,
on electric cars.
yeah,
And it, mind you, I suppose they are going to be able to incorporate what they've learned about battery technology. They will be able to incorporate it into hybrids. Hybrids are the future, I think. For everyday cars, hybrids are the future.
hmm,
But I've still got an issue with those because we've
hmm,
still got extremely expensive battery replacement costs, even for hybrids.
yeah,
I think the battery replacement cost on a Prius slash Auris slash any Toyota is circa 3 to 4 thousand quid.
hmm,
If you're buying an old Prius hybrid as a smoker, which I'm not against doing that actually, I would do that. Not sure I'd particularly enjoy it, but I would do it just to drive it around and see what it is. My mate's got a 2013 Auris, and you know what? It's surprisingly nippy, and it's a good little car, and it drives well. And I've been in it quite a few times lately, and it's surprisingly good.
hmm,
But it is white goods, even though it's
yeah,
got a petrol engine. It is still white goods. It's basically something that you buy to do a job, and that's it. There is no pleasure in driving it,
no,
as opposed to the little Seat Leon I bought. I get a lot of pleasure from driving that. It's basically a Golf GTD in a frock.
hmm,
And it's quick, it handles well. Now I put some decent tyres on it, and it's a lot of fun. Way more fun than the Urus. Please like and subscribe.